It's a very odd angle, which you won't see. And you shouldn't look at this either, but I'm gonna fix it, I think. Okay, now the other platform. Where are you? Is it? The other platform doesn't want to work, of course. Just give me a second. Where are you? Where are you hiding from me away? I wasn't streaming for quite some time. So today I decided to stream. And I will tell you all about it in a second. Okay, so it switches off for some reason. Okay, let's go change the display arrangement. This is display number identify displays. This is display number 2, and this is supposed to be the main display. How do I do it? Make this the main display. Yes, please. Thank you. Finally. Okay, great. Oh, go live. Microphone not available. 1212. Okay, but you should be able to hear me. Why this is here? It shouldn't be here, should be there. And the zoom is just, why is it so much zoomed in? Go live and update the topic. Go live. I clicked go live. Okay, change the topic. Are art struggles real? As you, if you've been watching for the last few minutes, you will see that the answer is yes. Stay on top of live chat. Try now. Focus on key interaction and gain insights. Yeah, that's probably gonna be. Okay, so now this is working. You should be able to hear me. Let's wait for somebody to be here. And let's try notify people about this. So I need to move this here. Hello, hello, and I need to go to my Discord. Hi, hello. Thanks for joining. How is your evening? Because mine, I'm trying to go back to streaming setup, and the setup has been I'm just gonna put share this live if you can, and I'm gonna tag at Discord everyone, not mushy, everyone, everyone, live, not lie, live now. Hello. Oh, thank you. I am thanks for saying that. Now it's hard for me to address people when I only see their emoji, but thanks for saying hi Sep, you're so cool. I appreciate it. How was your day? I will tell you in a moment. Apps0s live now and hashtag links. Just gonna try to share this live. Okay, and share on Discord. Great. All right, so and now I need to change the profile, because to be able to multi-stream I need to use Windows, right? And I've been trying to play a game on it, and I have it set up to turbo mode, and because of that it's quite loud, so I need to set it up later. Yes. All right, so a couple of things. First of all, thanks for joining. Appreciate it as always. It's awesome. I haven't been streaming last week. I really wanted, but I had a deadline today, which was a comic book contest deadline, which I participated last year and I lost 4 pages. And in the midweek last week, I was thinking that I just gonna drop it and not gonna do it, but because I invested so much time, I decided to push through. I was working until midnight or 11 p.m. yesterday, and today I finished at around 6 p.m. So I'm very happy that I managed to send that. Mercury, amazing. So I'm really happy today that I managed to send the comic for competition. It's not perfect, but it's out there, and you know, you need to keep trying, I guess. I'm waiting for my big break moment. But I can share and show you the comic book from last year that didn't win, because I cannot show you the one in the competition because it's not supposed to be made public until you know that you lost or won. So I'll try to figure it out as screen sharing in a moment there. How's everybody? How is your evening today? So I'm really good. I'm really happy that I finished that. And I hope it's already September 8th. I hope to finish my comic book that I've been working for 15 years. Maybe by next month. That probably won't happen, but I'm really close. X missed X. I'm sorry if I missed live stream because I've been making a lot of puppets and stuff. First of all, don't be sorry. And puppets, that sounds amazing. Share those on Discord. Hi Latte's wife. I don't look at Discord that often lately, but it's hard to get, hang of on all of those platforms. But puppets sounds awesome. I have a great appreciation for people making stuff and sculpturing stuff or making puppets, so fantastic. No pressure, missed, no pressure. If these are puppets for object shows, on Discord there is like a specific category for object shows. I have them separated, but I don't know if that's good or bad. And I have this camera over here, and you can see like because it's dark. And let me tell you all about it. Now, if you're watching on horizontal on YouTube or on Twitch, my screen is really bright, so that's not good. And it's really in your face as well. I can do it like this. It's just this light. You see, I have this light, right? And it's it's LED light, the Logitech lamp that was with that MX Brio webcam that I'm streaming from. And this doesn't go too dark, it goes very bright, but it doesn't want to go very dark, which is so annoying. And there's a lot of things you can be annoyed in life, and that's one of those. I will tell you about my monitor setup in a moment as well, because this is a new monitor, which I love, and it sorted a lot of issues that I had with previous monitor. And if you're interested in technical details, I'm gonna bore you to death with them. I wanted to try multi-monitor setup, but I will get to that in a second. Let me try to share my previous comic book so you won't be bored out of your mind. Yeah. So I see this chat here, and where's the chat from? What you call it? Where's the chat from Twitch and TikTok, which I shouldn't be even calling by the name. It's funny when you're multi-streaming, you're supposed to not say the names of other platforms because, for example, Twitch doesn't like if you name other platforms. But discoverability on Twitch is terrible. So for me, it doesn't matter, I don't care. And I think I lost my plot. So I have that chat here somewhere. It was, oh, there it is, on this monitor now. Oh, yeah, right, okay, great. So there's nobody on YouTube, on Twitch, which is fine. Or there's gonna be a bot spamming on Twitch sooner or later, that's for sure. Hello, Cheesy Cakey, how are you? So I lost what I wanted to say. The idea, not the idea. And normally the camera, even though it's dark, the light should be still not that bad, but because I changed some stuff, probably it reset or something. But I'm not really in a mood to go into webcam settings because, all those things, when you get older, simple things like electronic stuff that you could spend hours doing. Let me give you a good example. You're not bothered by that. that's worse, isn't it? You're not bothered by that when you're. I'm just gonna move it further away. Or no, that's even more terrible. Like if I look at you here, well, actually that's maybe not that bad, but it's still. How is that? Is it too bright? Let me know. You should show your object show comics sometimes. So I will, and I've been thinking about it the other day, which is lately one of my favorite sayings, because the other day could be any day. Could be yesterday, could be 5 days ago. So it's loose and it's awesome. But I was really focused on completing that comic book for the competition now, so that's done. Now I can focus on my debut comic book, and in the meantime I can start finally working on the object show. And Mercury, fantastic that you remember. So I will show you how I have it figured out. But as you see, I'm not that prepared today, but that was kind of the idea, because if I was waiting, don't wait for the perfect moment, it never happens, just go with the flow. Yes. Okay, so what's the easiest way for me to show it to you? Probably if I grab a piece of paper, which I can grab this piece of paper. That's my submission for the competition. Submission form. Yeah. Oh, might as well launch the second camera in the meantime, I guess. And also I notice when you are streaming, TikTok pushes you more to people in terms of you might get a little bit more followers, because all those platforms, they want you to be realistically to be online all the time, because you're making content for them for free, so they have you being interested so they can serve you or somebody else ads, and it's like, it's just blah, you know. But let me share the screen. Have you seen any good movies lately? Let me know. Movies. And I'm gonna launch the Droid camera, so I'm gonna show you the idea for the comic book. Well, you know what? Actually, I can show you maybe my comic book, the one from previous year. Maybe I'm just gonna show it to you here. It will definitely be easier. Share this live if you can. Okay, so now we have this on. Let me switch on the camera. Any new movies? Where are you native from? Don't have to answer, just curious. So this is a question I'm fine with. I need to protect my privacy. But I'm from Poland, but I've been living in Ireland for the last 20 years. So as much time as I spent in my country, I need to get a passport as well. Movies, all 3 Avatars, not the anime. So they made the actual, like the Avatar based on the anime show? Because there was one that M. Night Shyamalan, which was terrible, and I went to see that in the movies. Now the James Cameron Avatars, which has nothing to do with anime, are actually pretty good, and I've seen the last one and it was amazing in the cinema as well. That is why, thanks for sharing. Okay, so let me switch. Yeah, that screen is very, it's even brighter now if you're watching on horizontally on YouTube or Twitch, which is, well, I'm gonna make this setup better as time goes on. At the moment it's just a huge light. You can see it and it's there, the light here, it's there. So let's split. There we go, we are split now. Oh, I need to move the camera on the... Oh, the blue things, yeah. Superman was amazing. Hey, the person who said Superman was amazing and gave me a compliment earlier. Have you got a nickname I can use? Because I don't know how to address you. I don't know what's your emoji. Yeah, I enjoyed Superman a lot. It was very cool. Not as much, you know, they don't make those movies rewatchable really, but it was really cool. I tried to rewatch it when it was released on digital, but I kind of skipped some scenes, and it wasn't like... I'm watching Peacemaker season 1 because I watched the first episode ages ago, and now because the second season is out, I'm watching that. Where I am going with, call me Aero. Okay, thanks. Hi Aero. Naked Gun with Liam Neeson, so I watched that recently. And I was really psyched about that because I'm all about movie spoofs. My debut comic book is about, well, not primary but secondary. There's a lot of movie spoofs there. So if you're like a movie buff like I am, you're gonna enjoy that as well. But if you don't, it's fine as well. Okay, let me move that camera. So, I mean on Twitch and YouTube. So what's great about the new Naked Gun, it's short, it's not even 90 minutes, but it was okay, but not enough funny moments. Do you upload your comics elsewhere? Or ask Arao. Chicken, hello! I will tell you in a second. Let me just move that camera, which I have. There's the camera here, because now people cannot see me. Oh, I cannot move the camera. I need to move the properties, order, transform, edit, transform, and now I need to move this somewhere. So I'm not really that versatile with sharing screen. Since I started, all this streaming adventure 4 months ago. So I need to get that figured out as well. Hello, I mean. At this stage it's expected that we are making mistakes because of the spell checker. It's making mistakes for us, and I always find it funny when people correct themselves, and I often do that as well, but much less than I used to. Because it's normal. It's like, of course you didn't mean hell, but people would like to be right all the time. That's why they have trouble with being open to somebody else's points of views. Oh, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking me that? Okay, I just need to type manually. 600 pixels. Is that better? Am I moving something completely else? I'm moving music! Oh, you bugger. MX Brio, I had it selected. Xmas says, I once tried to talk about one of my puppets and I spelled her name as Sletter. Sometimes those mistakes can be adventures as well. Like human progress, it's made possible thanks to mistakes as well. Like the best discoveries often are made. Okay, I'm getting there. Yes. And there's one more. So overall it was a good summer for movies. Because I don't normally go to the cinema because I get annoyed when people kick my seat or they talk in the movies. And people are the worst. If you've been on the stream before, you would probably remember that I have a beef with people going to the cinema not to watch the movie, but to freaking talk. Talk at home. Talk in the streets. Okay, that's done. Done. Close. Lock. Okay. A little bit. Because if I move like this, okay, it's not done yet. Just a second. Transform, edit, transform. And move here. Okay, yeah, great, that will do the job. But a fun thing about this streaming adventure, I don't know if it's my 20th time streaming. Before I started to stream, I was very nervous appearing on the camera talking to people, and now I'm not. So that's cool. Arao asks, what's my favorite movie? What's yours? What's my favorite movie? I used to have some favorite movies, but not that. I can tell you my favorite franchise. I love Alien franchise. I've seen Alien 4 in the cinema, and now Alien on Hulu. I watched the first 3 episodes and I like them. They are very good, not excellent, but very serviceable, so entertaining. So I like that a lot. I always like the monsters, really, So like in my comic books, I think there's always, most of the time, there's gonna be some kind of a monster that the main characters need to fight. Like, Predator is awesome, and I'm really psyched for the new Predator movie as well. They're like, like I can watch Alien all the time, even though it's the same story. They are on a spaceship, the alien hatches from the eggs and kills everybody. And I can rewatch that till I freaking die. I just love it so much. As long as it's done, well. And the last Alien movie was done really, really good. Mercury, fun fact, I had drawing on the phone because I'm not used to it and I draw more on paper. I can feel you, and I do feel you, Mercury, because I'm the same. I almost started to try to be a digital illustrator, but I hate it. I have that phone, which is Note 20 Ultra, and it has S Pen, but drawing on it, it's terrible because when you draw on it, it's not, same level as the Surface, so it's that, and the screen is small and it's not the same vibe. I was thinking about getting an iPad and to do my second comic book series based on coming of age, growing up Herzeba, but then it would take me forever, and I thought it's gonna be faster and better if I try to do it digitally, but I realize now it won't. It's gonna be faster and better if I'm gonna do it on actual piece of paper, but on a smaller sheets than I'm making my comic debut, which is a little bit of an overkill. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna share my comic book that I participated in that I drew for the competition last year, which was about the same time because today was the deadline, and last year was a deadline on the 8th of September as well, I think, Monday anyway. And next time I'll try to hook up my monitor sharing and show you the actual colored piece. By color I mean it's just one color, which is not great now, but it's better than nothing. So move this here. Xmas, I have a laptop that can become a tablet. Awesome. That could work for me, but I can't at all use iPads. Have you tried using iPad before? Because I never actually... Because I have Wacom, right? So I know how this feels. But apparently Apple Pencil is cooler, which I don't know how the feel of it is. But you pay extra for Pencil, which is stupid. It appears to be a lot of digital noise on this, probably because it's not that, yeah, it's like some sort of... So anyhow, it's probably better if I just gonna not do it on this and just show it to you. Yeah. I have, but I'm used to holding small things like my phone. Welcome chicken, welcome back. I have, but I'm used to holding small things like my phone instead of holding iPad. Yeah, the only iPad purpose for me would be that infinite canvas, which I really was excited about trying, but then that went away, so I'm not that excited about either. But digital comics, I have a lot of comic books that I don't read and I don't have space for them. So I don't like reading on laptop as much, so it would be nice to read on iPad or Samsung tablet, but they are heavy as well. You can't win really. Yeah, I drew that, my art skills are actually better that you see on the content I'm making, but it takes much. You can be as good as you want, but it takes time, To produce better quality art, you need to spend more time on it. Okay, so Stephen King or somebody says, if you are supposed to draw something that you know, or create stories about something that you know. So, if you ever watch a show called Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, who was also the co-creators of Seinfeld, he complains about stuff in life. And that's me. I complain, I get annoyed about stuff like we all do, right? I take it to another level. So I know about that. So I put all of my angst and upsets, things, people, places, situations that cross me, and I put it on paper. So I put stuff that was upsetting me in my comic book story 4 pages last year. This year I put another situation that upset me and built a story around it. And next year, if I don't win this competition, I'm gonna put another thing that annoys me, which is going to a swimming pool, which they don't follow the rules. Like there's no jumping, you need to wear a swim cap and nobody's executing those rules, and that's just terrible. It's not hygienic, and it's like, come on, just basic hygiene. So it's so annoying. So annoying. And I'm gonna make a comic book about that. I'm gonna build a whole entertaining story about that. And then I'm gonna have my closure, folks. Whew. Mercury, Seb, can you recommend me what to draw? I'm bored. Draw a tree. I'm always drawing a tree if I don't know what to draw. And I'm not good at recommending stuff, so if you're bored, draw a tree. There's so many different kinds of trees. There's so many different kinds of clouds, which I like to draw. I love drawing trees. I even probably maybe like drawing clouds more. I'm good to have an outlet. It's good to have an outlet. Yes, it is good to have an outlet. And that's the whole idea. Whatever artistic piece you have is the one that speaks to you, is the one that has the character of the person, right? So the books are great because it's like without any filters, the person's thoughts about life that you cannot share with your people because, you know, it's not appropriate to be telling all that stuff that it's in your freaking head, but you can do it in art, which is awesome. You can create art piece, you can create a story, a comic book, a narration, a animation, or whatever, and you can be yourself, and that is the most freeing. Now when somebody adapts that, that's a whole different story. Alright, so about 3 years ago we purchased a house, and this is that story. So now it's mixed with fiction, right? So this is the name of the place, which is a fictional name. I totally not live at Lakeside. Do not think even about that. And there's actually, so you have a nice, you have nice beautiful roses there. You know, you have a pond, which is supposed to be like a lake. And I have this, so basically, you know, like often they would have, thanks Mercury, often they would have like the panels aren't actually drawn and the colors are creating the panels. So I was trying to mimic that, but maybe my hand shaking won't be that good, so maybe I will. Maybe not. I'm gonna. I have one of those gimbals, but I don't really use it. I got it. I made a cartoon version of Mission Impossible trailer, the most recent one, and you can watch it on my YouTube. I highly recommend it. It's basically the whole trailer, but made in my art style. And I kind of filmed it by hand, but then I thought I'm gonna do it again. So I purchased a gimbal for the ink copy, because on YouTube there is a pencil sketch. And you're gonna find it straight away. But I never got around to it. Trying to get into art like that, this is so motivating. Awesome. You know, follow your heart, follow your dreams. Ow, ow, ow. Sorry, my nose. Yeah, so basically they bought a house. And the easiest way to show how the house looks, it's basically that the house is purchased, you just put a sold sign. Oh, live visibility restricted, are you kidding me? Look at this. Your life is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal and reproduced content. This is in line with For You feed eligibility standards under our community guidelines. It's that because I showed you my comic. Like, that's so demotivating to be streaming when things like that happen. Appeal. And of course there's no a real human. Decline optional cookies. This is so annoying. Like, you cannot win. I mean, you guys are here, which is awesome, but life not being recommended? So I clicked appeal, and there's just like a window with nothing in it. This is so annoying. There I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna be showing you my art. Unoriginal content, this is my art. Oh, it's not your fault, Arrow, but thanks for let's just continue. Alright, so this is the house they purchased. And now, so basically the comic for the competition needs to be in that very narrow, long format, because that's these are the requirements they have. And so in those 4 panels we see, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels, we see the preparations of the home. Normally you would just read it and I wouldn't be explaining it. So you have a radiator here. I know, chicken. Then we have the handyman, based on real facts, who is moving the radiator from here to there and installing a new radiator, which is a long one. And I'm really happy with how the car turned out. I'm getting better at drawing cars in cartoon style. And you know, like, there's so many, like, basically the best piece of artwork, the more thought you put into it, the more interesting it becomes, right? So, like, when you think about it, you can see, when you look at it deeply, you can see that there's a dent in the car, which means that this car, the van, has been used many times, and the handyman cannot afford a new van. So that already tells you something about the person, right? And that they are organized as well, because they created a little compartments there as well. Is the shaking not too bad? If it is, let me know. I'm gonna try to use that gimbal there. Yeah, and onomatopoeia. I was never using onomatopoeia before, but I started a couple of years ago, and I'm getting into it because I read one of the some comic and I liked it. And then we have our couple that are planting a tree in front of the house. So this is really to sell that idea of, you know, this is our house, so we're gonna stay here. And here they are sleeping, you know, peacefully. I wanted to share this comic for a very long time, but I was waiting for perfect moment, and I was even thinking about making a video, but I stopped making videos, because who has the time to create long form videos for YouTube and get, you know, 300 views if you're lucky, and spent like what, a month making that video, honestly. And swans, which is a lot of signage not allowing you stuff. So don't look at swans. And you see at when I was trying to make a better, because this doesn't look like at, it looks like AB. So I would always make corrections like that. So you're watching the, you know, the original stuff. And now the fun begins. So there's no ball games. And of course nobody actually obeys to those rules. So this, at the end of this page, is letting you know that this seemed to be like a paradise, but actually it won't be a paradise. And this kitty, chicken, will return in the final page. So that all of those things that you see are real, are in the estate that I live in. The no ball games sign is there as well, but kids are playing games all the time around. So it's me, you know, dealing with this stuff, trying to process it. Now this illustration was completed, but for some reason not on this page. So our main character looks out because there's an annoying dog barking. So he has no choice but to put his noise cancelling headphones in his ears. And then we have kids playing outside of his house and making a racket. Like, honestly, you know, you have nowhere else to play. Parents have nothing, they won't take you anywhere, so the kids are staying outside of the house. and really, you know, not behaving like kids, but behaving like wild animals, screaming like crazy. And he can't really take it. So then we have nighttime again. More dogs are barking. And really, that's gonna be a sleepless night. And now all the terrible things start to build up one on the other. Neighbors walking on the stairs behind the wall, they can hear every step. I always feel bad for dogs barking outside, to be honest. It's not dog's fault, it's the owner's fault. You know, train the dogs. Don't keep them outside in a state when there's barely, you know, room to move arm and leg around. That's not a place for keeping dogs, especially in the nighttime. During the night, people are just crazy, man. And when the neighbors close their door, also, like, everything, you know, jumps and moves. One of my neighbors, and that was 2 years ago, like this summer, this is the third summer here, and thank God it's the less terrible that there was. Oreo is hopping off now to board exam study. Can't wait for next life. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around. Good luck with the exam study. And you can always rewatch that on YouTube later on if you want to see the rest of the comic. Take care. So there was one neighbor who bought of course this is all fiction. There was one neighbor who purchased a motorcycle, right? And he was learning how to drive it just outside the main character window. And you know how loud are those motorcycles? And the annoying sound that you hear all the time, vroom, 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 for like hours. So that's also depicted here. And now the mayhem starts. So this is the whole mayhem here. These are our main characters here. This is the house they purchased, right? Thanks, Mercury. Mercury says, so cool. And this is small. Look, this is my finger. So these are very, very small details. And I'm a sucker for details because I try to simplify my work, but that's the best I can do. Maybe one day. So we have kids on trampoline. You have 3 little white dogs that were yapping. These are the dogs. Kids on the trampoline. As you see, one kid is... So I erased that when I scanned that because that was a mistake. I cut his head off by mistake. Then you have the other neighbors with their two dogs. And their stinky garbage cans. And now our main character is on top and the other one is below it, and they are just hiding inside away from the noises. And the other neighbors having a ball watching a football game and making a barbecue. And if you know anything about barbecues, they stink. And when you have your washing out and when you're surrounded by all those things, you can actually go postal, unhinged. You can go crazy. So that's the middle of the comic book. So basically the first page, the way I designed it is introduce the characters, introduce the environment that they are in, introduce the conflict, which starts at the end of the page, right? And then we have the escalation of the conflict on the second page. On the third page, we'll have kind of what happens next, and on the fourth page will be the resolution, like Act 3. So that's yeah. So actually, this is often I would make an illustration and I put it in the wrong place. So I would, in the computer, I would fix it and arrange it properly. So this is not the best representation, but you know, it's better than nothing. So So he gets very upset, and then he imagines a big dragon. Here's the dragon. I really like how this dragon turned out. It's a cartoony dragon, but it has like the tangibility, you know? And I made the triangle tail as well, so I googled like 10 references of dragons. I found 3 that I liked. Always use reference, but don't go crazy with references. Stick to 10. Chicken's gonna go as well. Chicken's phone needs charging and probably won't be back because I have to sleep at 10. That's very good time to sleep. If I could, and if there wasn't dogs barking around, I would be going to sleep at 10 as well, because then I could wake up earlier and do work. So thanks for sticking around, Chicken, and all the best with you. Mercury says that the art style makes things so peak. Thank you. So we have that dragon. See ya, Chicken. Surprisingly, there's nobody on Twitch and YouTube today. And the dragon is destroying the whole neighborhood that they live in. I think I remembered seeing how you draw a house exploding. So basically you show an outline with those kind of lines that it's being eaten by the fire, but I couldn't find a reference. So I kind of draw it from memory, really. And that's that no ball game sign flying into the air. And all those houses being set on fire. The roof is gone on this one as well. And gone here as well. After I completed this illustration, I realized that it's missing something. And what it was missing the roar onomatopoeia from the dragon. So when I'm gonna be sharing, maybe next live or sometime later, the digital version with colored and cleaned inks, you will see a big roar over here. So that's that, and then we have time passing by, which kind of was completed digitally or on other sheet of paper. So there's rain, it's raining. You won't see it here because I draw it somewhere else. But imagine this in rain, it's raining. And then we have the main character like we had him before, but this time happy because it's raining, and when it's raining the dogs aren't outside, so it's quiet. Then we have winter, so we know that this is showing the time passage. We don't know how much time is passing, maybe years. Well, definitely seasons. And the radiators aren't actually working where they live. Fun fact, I need to call a plumber, because one by one the radiators at my place stopped working, and now none of them is working. The last winter we've been using electric heaters, but that's not really sustainable, you know, especially when you're unemployed like me. So we're gonna try to get that fixed. I hate calling people and asking for stuff, arranging those things, so I've been putting this off as much as I can, but I really need to call that plumber tomorrow. My biggest worry is that he won't be able to fix it, or it's gonna be a big job. But you shouldn't be manifesting or imagining the worst case scenario, but the other way, because whatever we think, we create. And here they are, and that's really fun piece because they are warming themselves up using the projector. And then we have the swans, which we saw on the... So that's a callback, and I love callbacks. Where are they? So we saw the swans on the page 1, right? And now the time passed, and we can see that the swans actually have babies. And even they are moving away from this noisy neighborhood because they have enough. Which is also, if this was based on a real story, would be also based on facts, because the swans left the place. And now we see the kitty. That was this... Oh, little innocent kitty. Oh, so sweet kitty. We see that kitty now grown up. And you know, like there's the ear is cut, some other animal ate it. It's much more rough as well. It still has that little bell on it. But I forgot, I wanted to make one eye blind, you know, like cats often have. So I drew it here, but I forgot to add it here. And when I submitted that for a comic contest, I can't remember, but I probably left it because I was so busy completing that by the deadline that I missed that. You miss things the more, the closer the deadline gets. And that's the shit. So that's the third page, and the last, fourth. We don't know how much time has passed, but they have moved to the countryside. And now it's peace and quiet. We have a lighthouse, no, not lighthouse, you know, that where you grow tomatoes and all that stuff. We have a where you can have your own water well, a little birdie flying. I like drawing birds. There's the birdie flying there. Solar panels, a truck, and you know, living the life. Very peaceful, Mercury, very peaceful. And a gate that it's on a pilot, so there's a lamp that becomes activated when the... So, you know, she is investing in her passions, painting. I have a fern, which I really like how it turned out. I like those small details. And they got themselves a dog and a cat, which is a plot twist, really, because he hated dogs. Mercury, I wish for that place so bad, but I'm filled with neighbors. You know, we all have our battles to fight, and I know I'm complaining now in a way, but I know people have worse and people have better. There's always people who have better than you and people who have worse and better. And the whole idea is time flies very fast and you won't be stuck there forever. So try to imagine all those things happen. Like even draw like I did. I drew that because this is my manifestation. I want to end up there, and you know what? I will. So stay positive. I know it's not easy when you have all those noises around, but once go out in nature, try to regulate yourself. It really helps. We choose what we want to believe, right? And we choose what thoughts are in our mind. We can control that. So we can have all the nasty thoughts in our mind, or we can choose, which is much harder, to have positive thoughts in our mind. The reality is whatever you choose and whatever you make it. So you can be focusing on negatives, then you're gonna see much more negatives, or you can focus in on good things and manifest good things, and you're gonna attract them, you're gonna create them. That's just a side note. You might believe it, you might not, but I have proof. Okay, so he's very happy because he made himself 4 sandwiches. Well, not sandwiches, like half sandwich. How do you call those? He gets some paper to clean, but then discovers that there are only 3 left. Again, I used this image here and I just removed one of them. And what happened? Oh, again, this was... So basically this was moved here, like... He looks... The chomp was somewhere here. You're gonna see it in the completed. So I rearranged it, probably. Anyhow, it's the dog. It's the Doberman that ate it. So the moral of the story is there will always be something that's gonna piss you off. You know, always. Like even the best case scenario, you will always find something to be dissatisfied about it. And you cannot change those things, but you can change what's in your head. You can change the outlook on life. So that's kind of the moral of the story. Yeah, the doggo was very hungry. So this is it. That's my comic book for competition from last year that I spent ages drawing. Thanks for watching. Lattice wife, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep as well. I'm gonna be ending very shortly as well. Thanks for sticking around. Have wonderful dreams and all the best. Lattice wife. So yeah, so that's the comic. It took me too long to make it, as the things always do, but I'm getting better at those things. They still take time, but less. Now before we go, I just want to quickly show you. I'm staying. Excellent. So thanks, Mercury. I'm gonna be splitting soon as well. I'm really surprised that there's nobody today on Twitch and on YouTube, but it is live, isn't it? Probably it is. It should be live. Anyhow, where was I? Yeah, so let me just put this here. Yeah, and I even got, this tired of making those lives, because I was excited about making those lives and then I wasn't. And it's like with everything you try in life, you get excited about it and then you don't. So the trick is to finding a good balance, finding enjoyment and providing some content for others while also, enjoying it yourself as well. Okay, so quickly about my comic object show, which I still don't have a title for. I'm using the idea from the comic I showed you and from the comic I just completed today for the contest, because those pages are not normal, they are much longer than normal in print. And if I divide them, kind of like Watchmen comic book use that a lot. If I divide them in 9, that's excellent for vertical content like YouTube Shorts or TikToks. Hi Rune, thanks for joining. So when I'm gonna be filming this, it's gonna be looking perfect on a mobile phone when you're watching my comic book. So, and also, this is the first panel, second, third, right? So we have 9 panels, and I can also make this a web comic to publish either on Webtoons or on Tapas. And just because webcomics are long, right? You just scroll and scroll. So I can arrange them so it just scrolls like this, and it fits perfectly this format. So I have 2 birds killed with 1 stone that way. So I'm excited that I figured out this approach. And even in the future, if that would be successful, I could publish that and it would still work. I could add some text and explaining how I came up with this idea to make it like a normal format for that stuff. Now, ideally I would have the whole scene, something happens within that one page, within those 9 panels, but that might not be enough. But if I work on a sheet of paper like this size, so much bigger, then I can actually split some panels to make like a smaller character stock, right? So we can have some situations going on over there. And again, the camera, you move down if you're making a video. So I can make that comic book and it's gonna work as a video in vertical, and it's gonna work as a web comic, and it even might work as a print, which is awesome. When are you doing requests, says Rune? Thanks for asking. I don't know, I got really discouraged by making those requests because I felt like I'm being just chased with those. So at the moment I'm only doing some replies to comments, but not at the moment in lives. Like, I don't know how to find a good balance, Like, I know many times people are just drawing stuff and people just chill and stick around with them, but at the same time that's not really good value for you. So it's really hard for me to find a good balance. Maybe I will get I will definitely get back to it, but I just need to either have a longer break or find a balance, a solution that works in between those two. Yeah, so this is the comic book for the object show that I have no title for, idea how I gonna frame it, panel it. I shared, my object which is a street light, which is dangling from this in one of the shorts. So that's gonna be the scene in the first page. And the street light, we called it Blinky, I believe. I might be wrong. That was suggestion from one of the viewers. So the first scene will be Blinky trying to cut off the cord and just get out of this situation and meeting another character over there. And I'm just gonna use panels with text, no animation, no sounds. Keep it easy, keep it simple, and I think that's gonna be my strength there. So sometimes when I cannot sleep, I think about the story progress and about the ideas how to move it on. But I'm definitely gonna need your help, and I'm gonna definitely be asking on Discord about a cool name for this. I will introduce more characters, share it with you, and probably will be sharing progress on making those as well. Maybe during lives, maybe during some. Just make as much content from that as possible, because that's the only one that I don't care about sharing that before it's done, Alright, so we've been streaming for 56 minutes and 40 seconds. I think it's late, it's 10 p.m. as well where I am. Thanks so much, Mercury, for keeping me company. Thanks so much, Rune, for joining in. This stream, unfortunately, it's limited. Not limited, what was the word? TikTok isn't sharing it with viewers because TikTok decided that I'm sharing not original content, and I am all about original content, which is so annoying. And that's one of the reasons, like, when you don't see this, when you see things like that, or people not joining, it discourages you for making that. So it's very, very difficult to keep going when you don't see progress. But you should still keep going, because you never know who's watching, and you always are getting better at stuff, and you're learning stuff. So it's super, super beneficial, but again, it's tricky not to get discouraged, as I often do, and as we all often do as well. So thanks so much once again. Have a wonderful evening, enjoy your week, because today is Monday, isn't it? And I will see you on the webs. I need to figure it out a cooler way to say goodbye than see you on the webs. Thanks, Mercury. Bye. Okay, so this connect on TikTok and disconnect on YouTube and on Twitch. So just stop